Hi, I'm Caitlin Compton-Almo, and I'm the program coordinator for the Human Services program at Suffolk County Community College. And I'm here with Silas Kelly, social worker, podcaster, and Suffolk Community College alum, and now author of this very cool book, 101 Things to Do with a Social Work Degree, to which Silas contributed. First of all, thank you for joining me today. And I would love for you to just tell me a little bit about the book and your contribution here.
Well, thank you so much. And I just want to say it's really an honor and a pleasure to be on here with you. So thank you for the invitation. And also, I'm really excited to, share a little bit about the book. And I want to first give kudos to Dr. Melanie Sage and Dr. Laurel Hitchcock. They are the two co-editors of the book. This was their idea last year around about October, November. They put out a call and they wanted to know if there were people that were interested in actually contributing to this book they were coming up with. And the concept was 101 things you can do with the social work degree. So when I saw it, I immediately jumped at the opportunity. And for me, it's really, really personal because I'm a product of the social work profession. I was saved by the social work profession. And then the other interesting thing about it is that I'm listed in the book as the only globally known, for lack of a better term, e-journalism social work advocate. And that is quite an honor for me. But what's even more important for me is that the reason why I'm known is that the reason why I believe I have the success that I do have as a podcaster and a broadcaster and an independent producer is because of everything that I learned as a student right there at Suffolk Community College. And I spent a lot of time crafting my skills, learning a lot of different terminologies, a lot of different techniques. And I owe a large part of my success as a professional media and broadcaster to my training, my education right there at Suffolk Community College. And so I just want to just lay that out for any students that might be listening. So
That's so cool. You were in the RTV program at Suffolk,
yes,
right?
yes, I was. Yes, I
That's really
was.
cool.
And I'm going to date myself, but my professors were the professor Al Bernstein, Howard Stevens, John Daly. Those were my three main professors. And I learned a lot of what I know today from all of the rigors that they put me through. So it's kind of nice to come back full circle and then be in the book as an e-journalism social work advocate, somebody who takes their broadcasting and uses it to promote the social work profession. And so my contribution in the book talks about, as a social worker, what I do on a daily basis and how I produce my shows and what a day looks like in the life of someone who's a journalist with a social work degree and a media background. So I basically have combined the two careers, and I interview people from all walks of life that have anything to do with social work. And then when you think about it, anything that we can think of in society and life, you can find a connection with the social worker. So I've interviewed people that work with individuals that are doing substance use treatment. I've interviewed people who have done hospice and elder care social work, youth social work. So anybody that has anything to do with helping people as an e-journalism social work advocate and a professional broadcaster, I find a way to make a connection between who they are, what they do, and why the public needs to know about that particular thing that they do. And the thing is that's really interesting, which this book points out, is you can find a connection to social work in every aspect of society, hence 101 things you can do with a social work degree.
Absolutely. I love that you found a way to combine your two passions of social work and journalism. That's really awesome. And you're absolutely right. One of the things I tell my students all the time is how broad social work really is and how you can find social workers in so many different spaces. And so I think that this book really highlights how many opportunities there are with a social work degree. And wherever you go, there are people in need.
Yes.
So I think I'm biased as a social worker, obviously, but I really do think it's probably one of the best degrees someone could have.
Absolutely. And the other thing that I think is really important that we highlight, salaries. And there are a lot of different salaries listed in the book. So I want students who might, start utilizing the book to understand that the salaries run the same gamut as any other profession. You'll find social work positions and social work careers in there, that make modest salaries, but you'll also find people with social work degrees, professional social workers who make six figures. And a lot of times, the general public and a lot of times students going into the field, they don't make that connection. So I'm really glad in the book that they can see, or if I choose to go this path, this is what this person makes. And there are some very, very lucrative salaries listed in the book. So that's really important for, especially, we know that your human services program, you feed into all of the BSW and MSW programs. And I think it's great. And I want to thank you again for adopting the book to get them an early start on, hey, don't limit yourself. Here's the possibility that you want to pursue. And then there's a roadmap of, what you need to do kind of to get there. So that's really important for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really glad you pointed that out. So many people have negative connotations when it comes to salary and social work for sure. But like you said, because there are so many different opportunities, there's definitely space for people really to find a career that they find fulfilling and also still make a decent living.
Yes.
And I think that's a really important thing to highlight. So thank you so much for doing that.
Mhm.
My students this year in the 101 class are going to write a paper on a social work career. They're going to choose a social work career to write a paper about. And
Yes.
I'm confident that they're going to be able to find some of that information in here and discover some things that they had no idea you could do with a social work degree. So I'm looking forward to that. And I want to thank you for your contribution to the book, for bringing it to my attention as well. And I'm grateful also for the editors, as you pointed out, Dr. Sage and
Yes.
Dr. Hitchcock. That's a really, really, really cool project. So yeah, I'm looking forward to using this with my class this semester.
And one last thing, there's also 101 things that you can do with a social work degree. There's 101 book contributors, and each book contributor listed a self-care topic. So there's 101 self-care topics also listed in the book. So I think that's pretty cool too.
So important because it's
Mhm.
something we talk about all the time in our field, but it does look different for everyone, right?
Yes. Mhm.
And so that's really, really important too. So yeah, awesome. Well, thank you for joining me and for spending a little time so that you could share what this book is about and what, kind of what it means to you, and also a little
Mhm.
bit about your journey at starting at Suffolk.
Yes.
So yeah, really appreciate your time today, Silas. Thanks so much.
Thank you for the invite. I really appreciate it as well.